Joining me now from Hendersonville, North Carolina, real estate investment CEO and congressional candidate for North Carolina's 11th District, Madison Cawthorn. Madison, thank you for joining me.
Stephanie, thank you so much for having me on. The point that you're bringing up about conservative voices being silenced is never been more true than it is in our country right now. Whether you want to talk about big tech censorship or just the double standard that society seems to have. I mean, we have people that are out protesting for minority babies just so that they won't be aborted. And these children are marking the sidewalk in, like you said, washable chalk, and they're being threatened with arrest. This is absurd, and it's an incredible bias, and I'm surprised there's not more outrage about it.
Madison, I think I know the answer to my own question, but do you think if they were promoting a liberal cause with that chalk, that they would have been arrested?
Not only would they not have been arrested, but you look to New York. Look at what Mayor de Blasio did in front of Trump Tower. He and hundreds of other politicians came out and on a televised event wrote Black Lives Matter in front of Trump Tower. So just when you add the word preborn to it, it automatically makes it a felony, something that you're going to be a misdemeanor, you're going to be arrested for. It's ridiculous. And again, this is just a ridiculous double standard that our society has, and it needs to be stopped.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I can't believe that they were arrested and that this actually happened. It's mind-boggling. Now, I want to shift gears over to TikTok. President Trump is thinking about banning TikTok through an executive order. Will you be the hardest hit?
You know, I think I may be the hardest hit. There is a lot of support for me on TikTok. So thank you to all the TikTokers who make the great videos. But I will say that I'm glad Trump's finally cutting down on this, because what we're doing is, I believe, we're sharpening the blade that will one day be used to attack us. The greatest threat in our entire world and all of the global geopolitical landscape is communist China. And right now, TikTok belongs to the communist Chinese government, which is actively stealing our citizens' data. So I'm glad that Trump's cutting down on it, but also I'm glad that he's created this 45-day window where Microsoft can actually come in and become the managing shareholder of the entire company, which would make it a U.S.-based company, so we wouldn't have the fear of our data being stolen and then being sold to the Chinese government.
I didn't know that you had a TikTok account. I'm going to have to check that out, although I don't have an account because I know it's a national security risk. Shame on you, Madison. It's time to delete it. Are you going to delete it?
No, I personally do not have one. I will just say that I get sent a lot of videos that people make about me, so it's always pretty funny.
I wanted to jump over to your campaign and talk about how, if you are elected, you would be the youngest person to ever serve as a member of Congress, and your campaign's going strong. You are the nominee for the GOP in your area there, and you recently went to Washington, D.C. You had a chance to meet with President Trump, because I did see that on social media on your Instagram story. How was it, and what did President Trump have to say?
Oh, it was incredible. You know, at first I was at Trump Hotel, and there was a chance encounter with him where a Secret Service agent came up to me and said, "Sir, the president would like to meet you." So obviously I unlocked the brakes on my wheelchair, said, "Yes, sir," and went right over. So got to meet the president. It was a great time. But he also invited myself and my entire family to the Oval Office the next morning. And so it was an incredible time to get to see the Resolute desk. You know, so much history has been done around that desk over the last since 1880, and so I'm just really thankful I got that opportunity. But he was so gracious. You know, the left always tries to push this narrative that President Trump is somehow against people with disabilities. But I will tell you that he treated me, a man in a wheelchair, with nothing but honor, dignity, and respect. You know, he even joked, he's like, "And you even beat my endorsement." He celebrated the fact that I had overcome so much in my life, and he was so kind and generous to my entire family. I will actually say my campaign manager, Blake Harp, did an incredible thing where he was disappearing kind of all throughout the week. And I would see him darting out of a laundromat in one of Trump's hotels or the kitchens in the White House. And I finally asked what he was doing. He said, "I wanted to go talk to the people that don't have a high level of status. I wanted to talk to the people that just are low-level workers for President Trump and see how they felt about him." And they said that he was one of them. Blake told me that they all told him that he was one of the most gracious and kindest bosses. He had come and met all of them personally. He always thanked them. And so I think it's incredible what we got to experience as the real Donald Trump versus what the leftist media pushes.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and I also heard that he's a great tipper. That's what people say. I don't know about that, though. Well, no, I'm sure it's true, but I have not investigated that part. Now, I wanted to learn a little bit more about your platform and what you would do if you were elected.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One America News on YouTube, and call your cable provider and kindly demand that One America News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.